Since the last video, I realized we never showed a decent finished shot of the floor. So here we are. And we're still prepping everything for paint here today. See all the, everything's obviously removed. Still have to lay some steel in there just to protect from rocks and road debris and everything, but you can see everything's insulated. There's the water tank in there, is all insulated. Everything's been sealed. Here's our steps. We extended the size of the floor a little bit to make it a little easier getting in it and whatnot. Here's where it will fold over onto the floor once the camper is more complete. Let's see if I can do the steps with one hand. There we go. So there's your double fold down steps. Makes it a little easier getting in and out of with the height of the 4x4 rather than using the one step that was originally here. And these are all in nice and tight, welded to, or bolted to the framing. Try to get some light under there. You can see right there is the little circuit breaker for the notification light that will be in the dash to warn you if your steps are down, so you don't accidentally drive away with them down. And when they close, the bottom just hits that there and breaks the circuit, pushes the button in. Then added these reinforcements so that when you're stepping on the steps, they're nice and solid. No forward bend or anything. Try to get some focus here. There we go. Nice and solid. Here's our marine ply floor. Dual fuel tank fillers. That will now be on the side of the vehicle rather than the rear. They were originally on the rear, which made it pretty awkward to put gas in the truck at certain gas stations that were really tight. You'd have to pull almost all the way forward to have the pump be able to reach the rear of the vehicle, and then sometimes you'd almost be sticking out in the road or whatever. So we rerouted those to take care of that. Nice solid floor, all screwed in, insulated, sealed. Here's our cab all ripped apart, as you can see. We had the original gangster ghetto mounting of some aftermarket seats somebody put in it. Got rid of those. Got some rust holes to adjust where the welds were for the seats that basically ripped the floor out. We just went junkyard hunting the other day and found some decent OEM 4Runner seats that should nearly bolt in, if not with just a little modification, and the colors match the cab and they're really nice, so got those for a good deal. I'm excited. So yeah, we're gonna put some paint down. Once jams and everything are painted, we can start reassembling the interior. We've got Dynamat ready to go in. We've got a heavy duty vinyl floor ready to go in. We'll Dynamat the doors. Got all new bump stop rubbers, all OEM rubbers going in and everything. Put the seats in, and then the cab will pretty much be done, other than when we start putting in peripheral lights and stuff. We'll have to do light switches and everything like that up here, and rear view camera, that type of thing. But we cleaned everything up the other day since it's been sitting a little bit. You can see the dash is clean, no cracks, no anything like that. So what you can see behind me here is the passenger side wall of the camper. This is the original wall that was in the camper, and we are obviously reusing it. It's a nice piece, and it's kind of the template for the entire wall and everything for the camper. You can see on the wall here, here's your framing for your front window, door. This was a vent over the oven. The generator sat back here. This was a generator compartment door. Your other rear window here. So we're gonna be basically reusing all of those pretty much where they're at. We might have to reframe some of it for a few design changes in the camper. We're no longer having a refrigerator here, but that all should be fine as it is, and we'll just cover it up when we do it. And it looks to be really nice construction. It looks like galvanized steel. You can see here on the front of it where it kind of ends here. It's designed that way because when the camper is designed, they just complete this front section with the wood here. And they originally, Odyssey, when they designed this camper, have a sharp point right here. You can see from some of my initial videos of how they did it. We're likely gonna go with a rounded shape for a more modern look, and it'll just look cleaner and nicer. And then once we put our foam in and then cover with our lawn board, we decided we're gonna go with the new updated Phylon flat fiberglass siding, which is really nice stuff. It's not cheap, it's pretty expensive, but it's gonna really bring the look of this camper to be a more modern looking truck rather than the old corrugated stuff here that they used on it. You can actually see we have some of it over here. Just really old, nasty looking stuff, and when I see that design of the waves, it's just old school and cheap. So once we have the new solid Phylon siding on it, we're gonna have some custom vinyls made, and it's gonna be the Arctic white color. And we're gonna kind of figure out what design we want to do on it with the graphics so that it's not just a giant white wall. And we're really looking forward to that. And then once those are on, we'll be designing and building out the roof on it and laying down a new rubber roof. And then we're getting close to almost having a sealed in capsule on the coach. We're very excited. Good.
Hey guys. All right, these are the walls, obviously, for the RV. The construction is on the outside. This is the inside of the driver's side. It's Luan that is screwed and glued to an aluminum framing, which is 3/4 of an inch thick. In between the aluminum framing is 3/4 inch, I believe it's an R6 foam insulation. And then on the outsides, it's the same Luan that's glued and screwed on the outside. And then it's also coated with polyurethane just to give it a little more protection in case you do get a little bit of leak in it. You can kind of see the construction in the door, in the window there. See the metal, it's in the middle, and then the wood sandwiching. And like I said, there's styrofoam in between there. Ends up being a real strong wall. And the aluminum makes for it to be fairly light, considering that it is a pretty large wall.
It's still plenty heavy.
Yeah, and it's cut like this on different because the overlap when you build the back, it's meant to take care of that overlap. Same on the top. We did raise the top about 3.5 inches to give them a little more interior height. If it looks like it's going to be too much, it's no problem just cutting it down and going back with the stock.
Yep, and here you can see the passenger wall. Same idea. Have the cutout ready to go for the door when we design that. We'll probably be reusing the factory door, but rebuilding it as well. On the windows, over cab, as you can see, we've changed the shape of the cab. If you remember in some of the old videos, it was I think 2 sharp curves and then a sharp point here. So we went with the rounded look to give it more, with what I think is more of a modern design rather than the old pointy design that was on it.
This will end up being changed slightly. This here, because this is actually all wood in here, this will end up just probably rounding off a little bit so we don't have that sharp corner. And it'll give that area a little bit nicer edge to flow across instead of that sharp edge.
Yep.
It'll look a little better. We just weren't sure exactly the contour we wanted to use right there. Yep. So we kind of left it wild so we could cut it.
So you can see those, they look awesome. They're just about ready to go in. for the exterior of the truck, we are using the Phylon siding, which is what most RV manufacturers are using, and that will be one solid sheet from top to bottom and then glued on, and that is going to be an Arctic white color, and we are painting the cab to match the color, and it's gonna look awesome. Hey guys, this is Anthony with Odd Couple 4x4. That pretty much sums up this video. This video edited down to just under 12 minutes, but there's hours and hours of work that went into designing and building these walls. So tune into the next episode when that comes out. As you can see, we are prepping to paint the truck. That's going to be great to see and very exciting. So if you like or appreciate what we're doing, we really appreciate you leaving us a like or a subscribe to keep us motivated for making the next video. Thanks, guys.